I have just started playing Deinocheirus or Duck. This titan here was walking around, probably checking me out if he can catch me or something, maybe waiting for someone. Either way, at the time of filming of this video, this was practically my first encounter, my first battle in a long time with Duck. So I was really anxious and I was trying to see if I can lure this titan closer to where water is so that I can escape if need be. But he had help. Luckily, Duck is fairly fast on land. I'm talking obviously about purely land build. I took fairly little damage at this point, and I was pretty certain that I can win, assuming Titan doesn't escape, of course. And I misclicked here. I was fairly shocked to see how Titan easily fell, to be honest. I did not expect Duck to be so powerful, but obviously this Titan was fairly bad too. I don't know what the hell happened with his tail attacks. Why did he not use them? And so on. Basically, the claw attack of a fully land Duck does 72 damage before any armor calculations are taken into account, whereas Titan does just 40. With calculations that take into account armor, Titan does around 44 damage to Duck, and Duck does around 54 damage to Titan. So with just a basic attack, land build Duck can actually face tank a Titan. Obviously in this game 1 versus 1s are not really common, so while nominally stronger in this scenario, in case of packs and so on, things can be quite different. Anyway, I took this trophy to home cave just because. Honestly, don't really care much about it anyway. Unlike Titan, which can have dash and be capable of quickly escaping some rather uncomfortable situations, Duck does not have such an ability. So in cases that you are fractured or bone snapped, you are pretty much doomed, unless you can face tank your opponent. like how I was in this case. In this video I had a first 1 versus 1 against a Spino, and it was a difficult battle, but I did manage to kill it at the end. I do not need to tell you all how much I hate area of effect attacks, against which you do not really have much of a defense, except for, in this case, tail attack. However, if for whatever reason, due to a glitch or a bug or whatever else, you miss that tail attack, as I had missed in this scenario, then you are simply forced to take all the damage that these things can dish out. At any rate, my strategy here was, since I was really low, was to circle around, waiting for my stamina and a little bit of my health to recover before engaging this Spino further. Also, what I tried to do is use terrain to my advantage, although with this little health it was risky. Basically, I tried to descend these cliffs, hoping that Spino maybe misplaces his movements and falls. But, like I said, I also had very little health, so there was a danger that I too could fall, especially since Sharp-Tooth Marsh, the area that I was in, was not familiar to me, not nearly as one, for example, Green Hills or something. I briefly checked whether I can summon the critters, but the burrow had already been disturbed before. Spino was very angry. There, he lost a little bit of health while I was recovering my health. I was contemplating attacking him here, but I chose not to. So Spino lost a little bit of health again. Unfortunately, he went into water, so I will not be able to dish out as much damage to it as before, because fully land duck needs both the player and your opponent to be dry in order to dish out, to do maximum damage. As it is, with Spino wet, I will be able to only do 45 damage plus, I think, 30% of those 45. Otherwise it would be 60%. Regardless, Spino lost health a couple of times due to fall, whereas I practically recovered all this time. So it was time to maybe goad him into attacking me so I can finish him off. And he fell for it. This frenzied claw really isn't reliable. Claw frenzy, that is, not frenzied claw. But I think everyone understands what I want to say. So I barely defeated it, but I still defeated it. And I decided to hide here quickly because I did not want it to return as another playable or for any revenge. I'm not sure I appreciate the way that Claw Frenzy works. While I do appreciate the fact that it can be cancelled at will, just like Titan's Dash, I just seem to be cancelling it inadvertently too soon, because the combat here is very hectic, very fast-paced, so I misclick or whatever. I mean, it is a skill issue, yes, I admit it, but it just isn't as reliable for me personally. But that is for this video. So in this video I faced practically a Megapack for the first time with my Deinocheirus. And I can say immediately, yes, I lost this more or less. But at least I took down one of them with me. In hindsight, I probably could have used cliffs better to my advantage than going into water. But at any rate, they were a Megapack, and even killing one of them, as far as I'm concerned, should be counted as a victory. Everyone here was part of a Megapack, even the semi-aquatics. And Metris I hate, as you all know. I sort of can't believe that these dolphins take out 10% of your health. Like I said, I was pretty surprised that those dolphins appear to be wiping out 10% of Duck's health. That's pretty impressive. Anyway, I did get back, and I did meet those same Metri and that same Titan in the next video, and I managed to kill them because, well, they did not have 10 other friends with them, I suppose. I did say in the next video, but not quite, because before I returned to Big Quill Lake I had to go through Green Valley, as can be seen. Water was nearby, so I decided to test my luck and skill in a 1 versus 1 against a T-Rex. I did not expect nor hope for any help. That T-Rex practically has almost total knockback resistance against Duck's Claw Frenzy. Claw Frenzy does 5 knockback, but if T-Rex has a 60% resistance with its leg slot or something else, then it's less than 5, and really less than 5 knockback is almost negligible. Like I said, I was not hoping for any help, and I was kinda sorry of the T-Rex. But the lesson that I learned here was, yeah, you definitely have to be careful and avoid at all costs T-Rexes, fractures and bone snaps, because Duck really cannot at all face tank a T-Rex. And with knockback resistance, even Claw Frenzy can be really a trap, a sort of a trap, because by the time you do Claw Frenzy, all 8 attacks, T-Rex can try with its Bone Snap or Bone or Fracture attack again. So you have to be careful with T-Rex especially. So I was back at Big Quill Lake, where that Titan and that Metri from one of the previous videos that were part of a Megapack managed to kill me. This Titan probably thought that I was actually easy or something to that effect. is calling for his friends, or was calling for his friends. I wanted to push him off this cliff with a claw frenzy, but I misclicked or something and cancelled it. He for sure was smart to escape, I will give him that. He's pretty low, and he was pretty low, and considering all the friends that must be there with him, I simply chose to return and continue questing and healing as well. Compared to Titan, Duck does more damage, but also receives more damage from everyone else. So it can't really handle mix packs and mega packs in an open area, as well as Titan usually can. Still though, I do like how agile Duck seems, except lateral movements, which are pretty atrocious, to be honest. And yes, I am aware that I was risking a lot by being in this area, but I think the server was already nearing its end, or perhaps I was about to log out or whatever, so even if they got me again, it wouldn't be a big deal. At any rate, I decided to heal here. It's funny that that Titan appeared to be looking for me with its Metri, who no doubt enabled it to heal fairly quickly, but probably not fully. Which is why I actually decided to attack the Metri first. Healers need to die. I was not sure if this Meg was with them, so I decided to be careful. Decided to be careful and not pursue Titan needlessly. he was low, but for some reason, aside from screeching all the time, he simply decided to attack me again. Seriously, in any 1 versus 1, whether Duck wins or Titan wins is purely a matter of skill. They both have their advantages and disadvantages. Duck does more damage, but has less stamina, is less agile. So it really does come down to skill. In this video I show not a particularly interesting or big fight, it's just me as a duck versus this Dasp and maybe someone else as well, maybe that Deinonychus. But I wanted to test how agile duck is, its ability to turn around and so on without using juke. And therefore you have this video. So yeah, Duck really is vulnerable in the open. Essentially, Duck should always protect its rear side from any attack. I had hoped to test these cliffs as well, to lure Dasp to follow me and to perhaps push him off the cliff, which I succeeded in only partially. Duck's lateral movement really is weak. It's slow, it's not really mobile in that sense. But I guess it has to have some disadvantages. Me losing 50% of health shows how dangerous even 3 slots can be. So, as a land duck, you need water nearby, just in case, or cliffs. Because just being out in the open, especially if you're facing groups, and which some of my perhaps future videos will show, really is a way to just lose easily and quickly. Among the now many playables, or so-called dinosaurs in this game, that are kill on sight or attack on sight, Hatz is right up at the very top. Hatz is, it doesn't matter if it's friendly or not, it doesn't matter, nothing matters. I see Hatz, I attack Hatz. And I know exactly what this one tried to do. He wanted, of course, to push me off a cliff. Luckily, my claw frenzy gives me temporary knockback immunity. Yeah, kill all Hatzes. Kill all flyers. What can I say? You will not regret killing them, while most of the time you will regret not killing them. I saw a Titan going up here and I decided to attack it. It won't be my best performance, but I still managed to beat him. Again misclicked. Again claw frenzy, misclicked. I was fairly low here, so I was planning to go where I have a better position, not here where I'm cornered. And possibly use my claw frenzy here to push him off a cliff. That would be really nice, but it's risky. Did not manage to do that, but still, I've beaten it. Yeah, misclicking claw frenzy really is a bummer. So much waste. But that can only be alleviated by more playing with duck, more skill and so on. For some reason I thought these annos were a regular area of effect annos, so I was too careful. Impressive. I think it is impressive that an anno can basically bone snap me with just 2 hits. That Sarko also got bone snapped with 2 hits. Again, I was bone snapped with 2 hits. And again I misclicked my claw frenzy, so the idea was to push Anno into the water, but that idea failed. Now obviously I was playing rather carelessly. At any point I could have simply escaped, but I decided to see how far can I push against Annos, considering that this is basically my first battle against Annos on a Deinocheirus in a very long time. So yes, unless you can push Anno into the water or maybe off a cliff, I don't think there's any point fighting Annos. Just like there's no point fighting Annos with a Titan most of the time.